So looking at the EJ255, the issues I was talking about in the EJ255 failure video, one of the failures I talked about was the Banjo bolt filters clogging up and causing oil starvation to the turbochargers. There's also another issue that comes with these Banjo bolts and the filters. The AVCS, the active valve control system on the Subaru turbocharged engines, and now on most of the 6-cylinder and I believe on the S series engines, is basically variable valve timing, advancing and retarding the timing of the intake cams on this particular model. This referred to as single AVCS, and there's dual AVCS on some of the turbocharged engines, some of the 6-cylinders, etc., where you have both the ability to advance and retard the intake and exhaust cams. So if it has the this array, basically on both the intake and exhaust cams, it's a dual AVCS system. If it's just on the intake, it's a single AVCS system. But the AVCS system runs on pressurized engine oil. There's a solenoid in the cylinder head that controls this oil to the actual cam pulley, to the actuation of the advancement and retardment of the timing. There's Banjo bolts on each cylinder head that feed the oil to these AVCS units. The Banjo bolts on the oil lines that feed the AVCS system also have the internal filters in their Banjo bolts, like the one that feeds oil pressure to the turbocharger, that's prone to clogging and starving the turbo of oil and burning up the turbo. Subaru actually had a service bulletin come out October 6th of 2005, and it was covering the AVCS union screw filter, basically this Banjo bolt with the filter in it. It was applicable to the 2004 model year Forester 2.5 turbo on the XT, the 2004 model year Baja 2.5 turbo, the 2004 model year Impreza STI, and some 2005 Legacy GTs as well, I believe, were afflicted with this issue. Basically, with this, as an introduction, if you encounter a customer complaint of a rough idle and or RPM does not increase smoothly, there's a possibility that the union screw filter for the active valve control AVCS system could be damaged, affecting the oil control valve. Always refer to the applicable Subaru service manual when performing diagnostics for a rough idle. Then it shows the Forester, Baja, and STI and the VIN numbers affected. It also references a new part number for a union screw without a filter, which is a 15194AA270. So that was the part number for the new union bolt with no filter in it. The part number for the union bolt that still contains the filter is 14445AA090. So if you want to replace your Banjo bolt and filter as part of routine service, routine maintenance, to keep that little bit of filtration, a little bit extra protection to the turbo of the AVCS system, this is the part number and parts you need to replace. And I believe this was about 16-17 bucks at the Subaru parts counter. And when replacing these bolts, copper crush washers, there's 2 per bolt, one on top and one on bottom, between the bolt and the sealing pipe, and then the pipe and the cylinder head. And that part number is 803-912-040. I believe these were like $1.50 or something through Subaru at the parts counter. We actually have 4 of these Banjo bolts. We have one here on our left-hand cylinder head, and we have one down here behind our rear timing cover near our dipstick tube. I'm going to try to light this up where you can see it better, but it's right there. It's got the little bump on the head. But that one there with the little bump on the head should have a filter in it. It appears this one has been replaced due to the fact that the head is flat on it. But these are what supply oil to the AVCS solenoid that actuates your intake cam timing. Moving on to the passenger side of the engine, we have an upper Banjo bolt here next to our AVCS oil solenoid, to our AVCS intake camshaft sprocket, and then this line feeds down under the intake, down alongside the cylinder head, back to our turbocharger, and that is the one that clogs and stars oil to our turbocharger. I'm not going to be able to show you very well in this video where that bolt is located. I'm going to try my best. Here is where the oil pressure feed line attaches to the top of the turbocharger. If you follow this oil feed line down, there is a small bracket under the turbo that this oil line sits near, but your actual Banjo bolt that you're after is right down there on the back side of your cylinder head, and that might be too bright for you to see, but there's a little bracket there under the turbo. You move that bracket, I think it's three nuts bolts, and you should be able to get in through the side or underneath to get that Banjo bolt out and either gut it, replace it, or remove the filter and the factory bolt. But that said, we're going to go to the front of the engine now, and we're going to pull one of these Banjo bolts to see if the filter is intact, if it has been gutted, if the replacement service bulletin bolt had been installed, or if ours is still intact, what condition it's in. I believe this engine has between, I think it's 120 to 130,000 miles on it, so we're going to see what kind of junk has accrued in that filter. This engine does have a rod bearing failure and has a rod knock. If you watch the part 1 of the Subaru Legacy GT project video, this is that car, and we disassembled the front timing cover to confirm that we had a rod knock and not a bad timing belt tensioner knocking. And of course it is a rod bearing that has gone out, and we have a rod knocking in this engine. So there's most likely going to be some metal shavings, fragments, trash, debris from that bearing and the damage it has caused in the engine. There's probably going to be some metal shavings in that screen. Hopefully it's done its job and kept the shavings from getting into the AVCS solenoid and into the actual AVCS assembly itself. That'll get pretty pricey on rebuilding this engine if it has worked its way into the AVCS system as well, when the plan was to replace the short block in it with a new Subaru short block, have the cylinder heads reconditioned, rebuilt. So now that we have the air intake out of the way, we can see our union screw is just right here beside our fuel injector. We're going to remove this screw. For reference, this bolt is a 17 millimeter. And you will lose engine oil when removing this bolt. This engine has set for quite a while without running, so most of the oil has drained down out of these lines, but you still will have a little bit of oil leaking, as you see here. Looking at the bolt, this bolt does still retain its factory filter. As we can see, the filter is collapsed. If you look at the filter in the new bolt, it is cylindrical. This filter, there is a four-way basically the sides of the filter screen have sucked in due to a restriction, and just looking at it from here with the naked eye, I can see metal fragments on our bolt, and some debris and build up. But as you can see, maybe on my fingers, there's chunks here in this oil. There's metal shavings. I'm going to see really quickly if I can fish this filter out of the Banjo bolt without destroying it, so we can get a better look at it. But as you can see here, there's lots of little metal flakes floating around in this engine oil. Most likely our rod bearing material that has come apart and gone throughout this entire engine at this point. As a quick comparison, this is our new Banjo bolt union screw with the new filter in it. I know it's hard to tell. I might have to reshoot this due to the fact that the GoPro does not like focusing on fine details up close. But as you can see, the filter screen inside is cylindrical in shape. So, epic fail on my part trying to get this screen out in one piece. It disintegrated on me essentially when I started pulling it out, but full of crud on top of the metal shavings. I've now gutted this screen, so we have a nice, clean, clear Banjo bolt that would supply on a non-hurt engine. Nice full engine oil pressure to the AVCS solenoid and to the AVCS unit on our intake cam. But there's your top crush washer, seal washer. Your pipe fits in the middle, and then you have another one underneath between the cylinder head and that pipe. Seeing as how this engine is hurt, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this old bolt that I gutted the screen out of rather than installing the new bolt. It would just be a waste at this point to install that new bolt, because it would just jam with metal shavings and everything else until I have time to remove this engine and rebuild it, or at least replace the short block and have the cylinder head sent out to be machined and everything flushed out. Torque on these, once you've installed your new crush washers, the torque for the installation of these bolts, it's 29 Newton meters or 21.4 foot-pounds of torque. I'm not going to bother to go grab my torque wrench out of the toolbox just for this, since again it's demonstrational. So click is tight enough for this purpose. But there's your general rundown of the Banjo bolts, their locations, the removal and installation of them. You can return back to factory and use a new filtered bolt, or you can gut your filtered bolt, or you can get the new Subaru part number without the filter in it. Just make sure you put new crush washers top and bottom on the line and the bolt when you replace them. But other than that, that should be all you need to know on the EJ255, 257 Banjo bolts and the issues that come from them. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.